Today, I'm going to talk about the invasion of artificial intelligence, aka usually, when I say this, images like these pop into your head. Hi, my name is Christie Charles, and today I'm going to talk about AI's roles in society and in the average person's everyday life. Globally, there are about 8.2 billion people in the world. And of those 8.2 billion people, 67.9% use the internet. And of these 67.9 people, 97 or 5.24 billion people use social media. That's a large amount. When you really stop and think about how AI is involved in your own lives, it's striking to see how reliant on AI people really are. Siri, Alexa, Grammarly, Face ID, all of these are examples of AI that we use every day. When you call customer service or the bank and you hear, press 1 for Spanish, press 2 for billing, press 3 for support, that's also AI. All of these engaging, correcting, conversing, fact-finding, biometric apps and tools are made possible by artificial intelligence. Did you know that even when you type something into the Google search bar, your digital footprint is being tracked? Did you know that when you search into the search bar again, suggestions will pop up underneath the search bar for you to review and click based off what you've searched up in the past? These are also examples of AI at work. When you type into YouTube searching for a video, your home screen will automatically correct and change just to find things that it thinks that you might enjoy. As artificial intelligence continues to be more and more indispensable in our daily lives, it is important to know the benefits and challenges that it poses to society and people's everyday lives. You'll find that in this survey that 11,004 US adults were a part of, 68% wear wearable fitness trackers, much like this one. 72% use chatbots like ChatGPT, and 60% use security cameras like ADT. These statistics show that AI can be used to better people's quality of life and allows people to have information at their fingertips. Now, let's talk about the societal benefits of AI. Within this decade specifically, AI on social media is used to both flag fake news and mitigate the spread of misinformation, which helps to combat the spread of fake news in the media. Moreover, it tailors the reels and posts that you see to reflect your interests and help you to find new interests based on things that you put likes on. For example, AI algorithms could detect that you may have started putting more likes on pottery videos. And so, the reels that you will see when you scroll and scroll and scroll will be more and more pottery videos. And maybe you might want to try that hobby out in real life. Maybe you will. Meanwhile, like all roses, AI also has its thorns. Social media platforms, which have been heavily shaped by artificial intelligence, for better or for worse, show the extremes of how AI can impact society. Although AI often helps people stay informed and up to date on global news, it can also open the floodgates for the rapid spread of misinformation and fake news, which poses a significant challenge to public discourse and trust. Many think that because of social media, America in specific is experiencing a crisis in facts and truth. And they believe that this problem ties to the current state of distrust that people have in institutions. Pew Research Center conducted an interview In 2025, 16,794 participants, and they found that 50% of the adults that were in this survey agreed that takes up about, well, it's one of the main issues that America is facing right now. Furthermore, 67% of adults say that controversy over basic facts is now a crisis in America. Fake news causes the loss of confidence in the government, and this is what 68% of the population that was surveyed said. And also, misinformation causes the loss of trust in peers. 54% of the almost 17,000 people interviewed thought this. Furthermore, AI has been found to have a negative impact on the brains of the youngest generations, Gen Z and Gen Alpha. According to Basis Technology, 90% of Gen Z adults and teens who use social media, and only 10% that don't have social media. That is a crazy number. And moreover, the daily average for Gen Z teens to be on social media is 4.8 hours. For reference, the healthy amount of screen time that people should be getting, adults and children, but according to the CDC, is 2 hours. And Gen Alpha, 40% of children 8 to 12 have social media. And in general, children ages 8 to 12 spend an average of 5 hours and 33 minutes on screens per day. This is a lot of time. And it makes sense. I have a brother who's 7 years old, and from when he wakes up to when he goes to sleep on the weekends, aside from when he's doing mind interactive activities, he's on his iPad. He's on YouTube. And yeah, you can see the impact. Moreover, being on social media and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling has begun to increase the actual clinical addiction to screens. For example, nomophobia. Nomophobia stands for no mobile phone phobia. It is fear of being without a working mobile phone. The National Institute of Health found that 73.9% of people between 18 and 29, and 72% of teens between 13 and 17 currently experience moderate to severe nomophobia. That's the majority. That's crazy. This, unfortunately, is also impactful because the younger and younger that children are developing things like nomophobia and attachment to their screens, it's even more impactful for them. I mean, the brain, it takes 25 years for it to fully develop. So imagine children and adolescents that are developing nomophobia at 7, 13. This is going to have a very much negative impact on their brains. On another note, generative AI-based social media, which is a type of AI that is used to generate new text, music, and images, can be a highly personalized and engaging platform, which leads to addiction and which can displace real-life activities like exercise, sleep, and displacing things like meaningful social interactions. Additionally, over-reliance on AI tools, especially in education, can negatively impact critical thinking and problem-solving skills in children, potentially leading to cognitive offloading and reduced engagement in deep thinking tasks. Furthermore, the effects of AI get worse as the younger one is exposed to it. And in schools, educators have started to worry that the ease and convenience of AI-generated content may discourage students from engaging in critical thinking exercises, independent research, and the development of their own ideas. I, for one, think this is very concerning, especially because in my own school, I see kids using ChatGPT for the most basic things. a teacher asks them a question in class, straight to ChatGPT. Furthermore, social media AI can negatively impact mental health by promoting social comparison, distorting body image, and potentially leading to anxiety, depression, or other mental health issues. When scrolling on social media, it is common for people to come across the feeds of other people whose lives seem to be so much better than theirs. For example, someone could come across the feed of an Instagrammer who has 10 cars and 3 houses. These incomplete and idealized snapshots into people's lives can be damaging to these impressionable teens and young adults because they don't really consider the fact that this is a snapshot into these people's lives. Sometimes even the personality that the person is exuding in their videos is not even their true personality. This can lead to them having a decrease in self-esteem, and it can also lead to them feeling discontent with their own lives. Moreover, another very prevalent source of discontentment for teenagers, especially, is the appearances of these influencers. With AI becoming more and more developed, you'll find that social media influencers use filters to change the way that they look. So nowadays it's hard to determine what's real and what's fake about these influencers. And another thing that is very, very harmful to these impressionable groups, adolescents and teenagers, is cyberbullying and deepfakes, which can have also devastating psychological effects on young women. Yeah. 46% of adolescents ages 13 to 17 said that social media makes them feel worse about the way that their bodies look. Also, deepfakes. Deepfakes are defined as when someone takes the face or the body of someone and digitally distorts it in order to spread malicious content in the form of an image or videos. So let's take a look at some pictures of deepfakes and their human reference, and let's see if you guys can tell which one is the deepfake. No? Yes, which one is the deepfake? Which one is fake? Yes, you're right. It's the left one. What about this one? Oh, wow. The right one? Guys, isn't this Lady Gaga? It's the left one. Oh, for you guys? Oh, yeah, you're right. All right. What about this one? This one is the fake one. All right, good job, guys. All of these dilemmas have been directly correlated with the rapid increase in mental health issues recently. 34% of adults ages 18 to 25 and 20% of those under 18 have been diagnosed with mental health disorders. Nearly 1 in 3 adolescents ages 13 to 18 will experience an anxiety disorder. 20% of teenagers will contemplate suicide or experience a depressive episode by age 17. In 2021, 20.1% of the US population, that's over 330 million people, aged 12 to 17, had at least one major depressive episode. Almost 10% of children under 18 attempted suicide in 2023 alone. Statistics like these are overt signs that change needs to take place. AI can be used for good, but companies and social media platforms specifically need to do a better job protecting those who are most vulnerable to the adverse symptoms of artificial technology. There have to be safety measures in place so that people don't suffer from the very thing that was created to help them. With AI in the mix, the internet, and especially social media, has the capability to be a dangerous, toxic place, making some serious reforms, including the diversification of training data to mitigate bias and empower users with tools to control their content exposure while ensuring transparency and accountability through third-party audits and AI reports, are especially crucial in ameliorating the AI invasion in America specifically. So finally, I want to leave off with this. It's important for us as human beings to prioritize and take care of our mental health through activities and in-person interactions. I challenge you to, after this TED Talk, call up a friend and invite them to hang out with you. Except here's the catch: no phones allowed. I know, right? Whoa, no phones. And I want you to take this time to really hang out with your friends, spend some quality time, talk, do a fun activity. It will make a difference. And as by Charles Darwin, electronic connection will never be the substitute for the person who, with their soul, encourages another human being to be brave and true. Thank you for listening.